Training video, and the product that we are talking about today is liquid calcium, magnesium and vitamin D all in one. In this video I will provide you all the information regarding what is calcium and why do we need calcium along with magnesium and vitamin D. Why not only calcium? Because that's what we have always learned. Calcium is required for healthy and strong bones. Then what is the story behind magnesium and vitamin D for the health of bones? Well, believe me, that is the missing link to healthy bones. And that's exactly why Greenworld is such a revolutionary and inventive company, because we brought a product to you which combines the strength of calcium, magnesium and D3. So without further ado, let me start. First thing first, what is calcium? Calcium is basically a mineral in your body which keeps your bones strong and healthy. 99% of calcium is stored in your bones and 1% remaining calcium floats around in the blood performing various other important functions. And without this 1% calcium floating in the blood and soft tissues, your muscles would not contract, your blood would not clot, and your nerves won't carry messages from your brain throughout your body. We need calcium throughout our life. During our childhood, we need calcium for the proper growth and formation of our bones and our teeth. And during adolescence or in our adulthood, we need calcium for the maintenance of those bones and teeth. And all the way up till our old age, when we become frail and weak, our bones start losing density, we need even more calcium. According to various reports, unfortunately, calcium deficiency is on the rise, and especially in case of women. There are multiple reasons for it. Women are often on some or the other diet to become slim, lose weight, and even after menopause, a lot of women suffer from bone density loss due to hormonal imbalances in their body. It is estimated that worldwide, calcium deficiency is bound to affect 200 million women. In Canada alone, osteoporosis affects 1.4 million Canadians, mostly postmenopausal women and our elderly people. Alright, so on this slide, you can have a look that we achieve our peak bone mass, both in case of men and women, somewhere between the age of 20 and 30, and after that age our bone mass does not increase anymore, so we can only maintain it. And that's why it is crucial that during our infant or adolescence years we need to focus on adequate calcium intake, because that's when our bones are accumulating all that mineral density or bone density. Once we achieve that, then it is our responsibility throughout our life supply sufficient amount of calcium so that the same bone density can be maintained. As you can see in the picture, that as we start growing older after the age of 30 and 40 and 50, that bone mass or the calcium stores in our bones starts to deplete due to various reasons. In case of women, it is of course hormonal imbalances resulting after pregnancy or after menopause. And in case of men, well, a major factor is also a drop in testosterone levels after the age of 35, so that affects the bone density as well. Alright, so we have understood that okay, calcium is required to maintain our bone density. Now the question which I raised in the beginning of the video is that where does magnesium and vitamin D or D3, the active form, comes into the picture? So let me explain that, and after that you will understand the beauty of this Greenworld product, liquid calcium, magnesium and vitamin D, why it's a combined effect in one supplement. So to answer your question, we understood the importance of calcium. Now I'm going to talk about vitamin D or vitamin D3, that is the calcitriol, that is the active form of vitamin D. For calcium to be fully absorbed in our body, we need vitamin D3, because vitamin D3 or calcitriol, the hormone active form of vitamin D3, helps in the absorption of calcium from our intestine. That's where the absorption of calcium start taking place. If we don't have vitamin D3, it will not be absorbed from our intestine. So for the absorption of calcium, we need vitamin D3. Next comes magnesium. Now, what happens in case of magnesium? Basically, throughout our life, our internal skeletal structure, our bones, goes through the process of resorption. That is the remodeling process of our bones. Old, worn out bones get remodeled, means they get broken down and then new bones are formed in their place. And during that resorption process, calcium is released into the bloodstream from our bone mass. So it can make our bones weaker if the resorption process does not stop. And that's where magnesium comes into play. Magnesium stimulates a hormone in our thyroid gland called calcitonin. Once calcitonin is stimulated, calcitonin inhibits the process of resorption, that is the breaking down of bones. And that's how calcitonin stops the release of calcium into the bloodstream, and that calcium stays in our bone. So that's why magnesium is important. It helps to stimulate calcitonin. Calcitonin inhibits resorption process, and that's how calcium stays in our bones. So that way magnesium also helps in the absorption of calcium. And that's where Green World as a company shines in this field of health supplements. In our product, we put calcium and we put in the proportionate amount magnesium and vitamin D3, so that you don't have to take separate supplements. Just take one supplement and it works as a silver bullet for the protection of your bones. Furthermore, I want to bring another key point into your focus, and that is, as the name says, liquid calcium. So in our product, we use the liquid form of calcium, and that is derived from oyster shells. And the reason for that is the liquid form is much higher in absorption. It does not require food or even stomach acid for the purpose of absorption. You can take it at any time. And as I said, it is derived from oyster shells. So it is a biological form and is again much easier for our body to absorb it. Only precaution I want to give here is that if you are allergic or sensitive to shellfish or seafood, in that case you need to avoid it. As I said, it is derived from oyster shells. Next important point is that our calcium is calcium citrate, which is again a more expensive form of calcium in comparison to calcium carbonate. And calcium carbonate can also cause stomach digestive problems as well, or bloating and gas. But calcium citrate is clean. It does not cause any kind of digestive issues to anybody. Another important precaution here is that if anybody who has a history of kidney stones or any issue with their thyroid gland, they must consult with their physician before starting any form of calcium supplementation. Alright, let's now talk about RDA for calcium, that is the recommended dietary allowance. So you can have a look on the slide. As per different age groups, we need different mg of calcium on a daily basis. So throughout all the age group, as you can see, on an average 1000 to 1200 mg of calcium is required on a daily basis from, of course, a combination of natural food sources as well as natural supplements like liquid calcium magnesium. So we combine both and we get our RDA for calcium. So as far as the timing for taking the calcium supplement is concerned, I would say that you can take it anytime as per your convenience. You don't have to necessarily take it after meals. And only precaution that I would say is that if you're using other products like Ganoderma, Cordyceps or Liver Care, in that case try and maintain a gap of around half an hour to 35 minutes between liquid calcium magnesium and your other natural products. Alright guys, so that was all the information I had about Green World liquid calcium magnesium and vitamin D. I'm gonna see you next time with another product training video. Till then, keep your bones healthy, get your liquid calcium magnesium and vitamin D. Bye.